I clicked the wrong button. Hello everybody, how we all doing? Let's see here. Yep, the usual Rajanka post. Oh, god damn it, Finster. Alright. Yes, quit opera, thank you. Okay. I'm not sure who all is here. I'm going to assume it's the usual suspects, just Shiny not here for some reason. Oh my god, why do you keep doing this? I need a new light. I need to get my good light. But hello everybody. Technically this is the first Halloween stream. Alright. Let's see, we got that going. Alright, that's hooked up. Camera's plugged in. And stop trying to set that up. Yeah. God damn it. Yes, download now. Accept your terms. Yes, launch Camo Studio. And yes, always allow. Yeah, that camera's always locked. Okay, mini painting. Ooh, good. It's right on the first try. I couldn't see me for a second. There we go. Alright. So we're actually going to do something different first. Actually, let's get this stuff... Actually, first. We're going to do something a little interesting. We're going to get these all ready. So the first Halloween model is going to be an orc nun, orc nurse. And I figured just because she's got the chainsaw, we can say she's technically Halloween. There's some other models I'm waiting on over the next few days to get. And then we'll include those. And then we've got to also get Shiny's model ready to go because this is the actual size she wanted. So if Shiny, you're here and just being quiet, how do you do? And then also, Shiny's got this little guy. But I feel like I'm talking to myself tonight, or I'm talking to lurkers, which either way is fine. Because I haven't seen my usual suspects saying hello. Why am I using this brush? I keep forgetting I have the good brush now for this purpose. Hi, Rajanka. Well, there's one of my usual suspects. Let's see here. I'm assuming our Georgia people and anybody else affected by the hurricane. Cool. How was it? Nice. That's good. I think we're going to keep this gray. We're not going to put the white on. Actually, we might bring the white on just to do some painting tech stuff. Because I think we want to try doing a blue metallic. Mm-hmm. Well, that's good, at least. actually have a good primer on. And I forgot this good dry brushing brush. Sweetie, pumpkin spice season started about 2 weeks ago when fall started. Technically, it started at the beginning of September. But pumpkin spice season and spooky month technically started 2 weeks ago when fall started. Also, speaking of, that's just capitalism, baby. Speaking of, let me switch the calendar over just preemptively. Ooh! Well, I can't show you what I just looked at, but those ghost hands are doing things. Yeah, so to be fair, technically when it comes to buying Halloween decorations and stuff, you had to start buying stuff back in August. I have a fellow VTuber's calendar. And let's just say there's a reason I said I can't show it. But it does give me ideas for a, it does give me ideas for my own calendar to do. Eventually. I'm almost tempted to not paint it. I think we're going to leave this the color that it is, because I think I'm going to come in with a dry brushing of metallic on it, and then a blue wash. Because I want to test something for Lurka, and if it works, if he does end up commissioning me soon, because we've been talking about doing an army for him, another army for him. We'll be painting them up, and I want to test his paint scheme on a couple of things before I commit to it. But, let's see here. Let's see here. Is shiny? Yeah. Shiny, if you are amongst the living, give us a sign. If not, I'm about to do something kind of cool. So, when I do commissions, I usually will put like a little card with like basically a... I don't always put this info in, but it's basically just like a little card saying, hey, yes, I finished it. Just being cute. That's the closest you'll ever get to seeing my cursive proper. But, just as a little sign that I have done it, I do something interesting. Now, normally I will use this. What is this, you ask? It's a wax seal. But I kind of want to try one I just got a little while ago. Which is this one. I have a few different ones of these. I should probably take this glove off, but... So this is a fun little process that I like to do. Is when I'm... So, if you're ever getting commissions done by me, this is kind of what you can expect, is a little card like this with a wax seal. Sometimes I'll put the breakdown of what your purchase was, sometimes I won't. This is the first time I think I've done it for Shiny. But yeah, the slightly boring part is I have to let this stuff melt a certain way. But this is also the boring part because I have to keep the flame at a certain height. And I can't let it get drowned out too much. We're going for about a quarter size of wax here. Okay, I need to make this candle just a little accurate, so she might actually get a little bit more than she bargained for. If I did this right, it will be perfect. If not, I'm going to be really annoyed in about 30 seconds. Ta-da! Here, just to be funny. Oh no! Shit. There. I did something dumb there because I made too much wax, so that's fine. Technically, if I really wanted to, I could probably break this off. Alright. That is Shiny's little receipt. Ready to go. But yeah, a lot of times I will make fancy cards like this and stuff. I will say I really like this one. I do need to get a better one than just this N, but meh. What I'll probably do is I'll probably get somebody to make me a custom one soon with like Nami's like I say Nami, my symbol on it. Or initials. But that was my excuse to just fill some time for a few moments there. Alright, we need more Grey-Knight. Yep. But yeah, that's a little fun thing I like to do for commissions and also like birthday cards and stuff. So if I ever start that Patreon that I've been talking about, that'll probably be how you guys get your birthday cards. They'll be in a special envelope. Painted it metallic. When in doubt, Runefang it. Alright. So, what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to darken this all up a little bit. Alright. So if this works like I'm hoping... Hmm. I think we might come in with another very light dry brushing of Runefang just to have metal popping through. Just on the very high edges and maybe like on the bolts. Ah. trying to get this just the right amount of blue to where it's like you can see the metallic underneath. So two light coats is about what I think is what he wants. I'm going to look at his recommendation. I mean, that looks blue on there. To me, it looks like it's a little bit lighter than it should be. If Lurker pops in, I'll get his approval if it's what he wants. And if that's the case, then we know where we're going. Which means I'm going to need to get some more Grey Knight in the next week or two. Some more Grey Knight, dry brush on some Rune Fang. Thin layer of blue. Thin layer, one thin layer of black wash, 2 thin layers of blue wash. Agrax, that's right, Glenn. Where's my Agrax? So far we're actually painting the first Halloween model, which is an Orc Nurse. And we're using her loosely as a Halloween model because of the chainsaw. But we're mostly working on the base right now because I'm just trying to stretch it out as I wait for somebody to show up to see if they approve of the... Probably starting the rest of this week, once the rest of the Halloween models that are coming out start coming out, we'll probably start painting some actual, like, Halloween stuff. As for the model that's over here, this is a commission that we just got done getting ready to ship out. Hi, Shiny. We were wondering where you went. You're late to class. I think we should establish that I really like painting my orcs now with a nice little blue undercoat. Ooh, is it time for ASMR? I think it's time for a little bit of ASMR. I need to find where my good knife went, my good little, like, digging out tool went. I found it, and then it disappeared on me. One of these days, I will buy the things that turn these into paint droppers. But not today. To be fair, you will not be able to use them in official tournaments, but you will be able to play them against me and people who don't care about that kind of thing. I also think we're going to try to this weekend. I'll probably announce... So it's going to probably be anywhere between... So it all depends on how this weekend goes. I think we're going to try and do the first public domain horror movie reaction night. So if you got any VTuber friends of yours that you want to recommend, I can see myself playing actual games. To be fair, I get that. Yes, this is exactly what it's... well, you can see the name of the song if you're looking at chat. I was going to set up multi-streaming tonight. Oh, God damn it. Oh look, it's Siri. I just realized who that emote was. I'm like, oh, that's Siri. Am I going to use Zydrate and Anime for this character? Yes. Which now means I have to make that syringe glowing blue. And I need a new cleaning rag. So, this is the trick, kitten. The kitten. You have to use tricks like this. Find stuff that... So, there are ways you can make a glowing blue effect where you would take... So what you would do is if you want to do a proper like glowing effect, you would take this color and you would paint wherever you want the light source to come from. Here, where's a good example? Where's a good example? I want something bigger to show you so I can talk, so I can show this off easier. Okay. This is like... It's too bright for camera. I just want one thing that doesn't like just get whited out by the stupid thing. Alright, so say I wanted to make this pipe look like it's glowing. What you would do is wherever you want the main light source to come from, you would paint the whole thing white. But you would keep specifically the area wanted to stay the brightest white. And then you would do like a half and half of this, if you say wanted to glow blue, and you would paint it on the edges of the white of the lightest spot. And then you would take this mixed with white on the edges, and then you would lightly blend it in by just taking your brush and just very carefully going side to side until like the colors kind of just like blended into each other, but keeping excess here and excess keeping the purest version of this blue here, also just blending everything in closer to the white, maybe even going a little bit into your really bright white. And that's one way to do your glowing white effect, your glowing blue effect. Or you can take, yes, fade it down to the white. That's the hard way. And depending on how really glowy you want to get, there's like, you can do like a bunch of different tones going out to your darkest color. Or you can be lazy and just paint whatever you want white and use this stuff. It's not going to look as professional as doing that, but it's going to do the same, somewhat same effect for pictures. So painting this like a solid, painting this like a matte white, a bright matte white, and then with this, we'll do the same trick. Especially if you let it, especially if you move it around while you're painting it, so it all kind of just like doesn't pool all like at the bottom or the top. It will pull the same effect. A lot of times it comes down to finding loophole tricks. Now what I'm in fact doing right now is I'm doing a trick where we've got our base colors all the way up, and then we've got this blue that's lightly put on here. This is going to be our undercoat. This is going to be a base coat, but it's going to be an undercoat. But you can see, if you look carefully at her skin, you can see where there was high points of white and lower points of gray and even darker points of black. Kinda. What we're about to do is we're going to take what I just put over here. We're going to thin it down a little. Now, because I thinned it down so much, we might have to do 2 coats. But that's fine, because you'd rather do 2 thin coats than 1 thick coat. And also, if you do your 2 thin coats right, you should be able to start painting pretty quickly after they dry. y'all something to look at. I will say, funny enough, there's going to be a lot of pinups this month because, holy crap, Ronan went all out on like Succubus and Incubus group. So I'm going to need to figure out which variants of their models I'm going to do safe for work for Twitch and which models I'm going to use for... which models I'm going to use for Blue Twitch. But also, this is one of those things, Kitten, where I have been painting for like 2 years straight, like doing several models every like couple of nights. I look like I know what the hell I'm doing. A lot of the times I'm just winging it. To be fair, you're onto a right start. If you know how to pinstripe, you know how to do a little bit better than I do. Oh shit. To be fair, also, since you know how to use an airbrush, you actually could probably start picking up like airbrush painting models and not just hand painting really quickly. In airbrushing models, you can do some really cool techniques that I can't do necessarily the same way. So I get a lot of cheater paints, is what we'll call it. You, on the other hand, because you get air guns, you can use a... I have one, I just don't have one hooked up in here because there's no easy way to ventilate in this room yet. I'm working on it. You can do like lava effects and stuff really easily. You can do like a lot of really cool effects easily. In fact, the glow effect is even easier to do with an air gun. Because what you'll do is you'll actually go the reverse. You'll take your darkest color and then you'll blend into your lightest color with the airbrush, if I remember right. I do that's how you do it with the lava effect. You actually start with your darkest color first, and then you work your way out when you're airbrushing. And just for that third variety. Well, so, yes. The bigger models you go, I can't show you any of my big models that I have in here right now. So, the bigger the model, the more forgiving it is. If you look at a lot of my pictures of, like, on Twitter or like videos on TikTok of bigger models I've painted, you'll notice that I'm not doing the same number of coats as I would be on these little guys. These little guys, in fact, here, I'll show you. Here. We'll start with Beelzebub from Helltaker. This skin tone is only like 2 or 3 different layers of paint. It's a base coat of white, I think is what I did for her. Or maybe I did a base coat of black, I don't remember. It's been forever since I painted this one because I didn't paint this one on stream. I almost get the feeling she's probably was a base coat of gray or black, which is why her horns don't look exactly like they're like bone white. This is also a bad example, but because this is like an early model I started painting. But a lot of her dress is like the same 2 or 3 reds. It's like the same 2 or 3 reds, just all kind of meant to do like this effect that doesn't really show up the way I hoped it would. I would almost be willing to redo this model just to show the difference in like some tricks I know. Like there's some very early attempts at edge highlighting that I would have done differently now. Or I would have done the same way, but cleaned up a lot better. Also, this was on the old this is also a model I made on my old printer. This right here, yeah, it's Beelzebub. A lot of this is just, you can tell this is a very early model. Just all the cleanup marks that need to be done. This is really bad. And not learning hand control. This is a perfect example. This is a good model to actually show like a lot of beginner's mistakes that are very easy to recognize. So this is too thick. This black should have either been done with a much thinner brush, or I should have in fact actually gone a different route and used something now that I would probably use if I were to redo this model, and either take this black wash and take it along this line like a few times just to darken it up, just so it's a lot less of a thick black. Printer wise, I would completely do this differently. This should have been like, I should have sanded this, and I should have done a lot of other stuff to clean this up to prevent this from happening. Also there's things I could have done on the print in the files themselves before it happened. This is another example with the leg here. This is like the perfect model to show you what not to do. But it's also one of those models that I'm probably not going to ever give away because this is like one of the first like big things I printed and painted. Which is even funnier in comparison to... Oh god, where's his back spikes? This is another early model. This one's a lot harder to show you what I did wrong. Other than the fact that I forgot to glue that in, because I always intended a bit that I was going to do, but I never did. Oh, there's his back spikes. There was a thing I was always going to like mod onto this guy to make him an orc army thing. Which is why the spikes were removable. Also, his head. His head was also my attempt at magnetizing. I probably wouldn't have magnetized it. I would have done a better job at magnetizing this time. And like actually tried to magnetize the head too. Now, I know what to look for on this model. This is actually funny. This model got painted before Beelzebub. But there were things I did on here that I probably wouldn't have done the same way. There's also a lot of stuff I would have done differently. I can see some spots where I know for a fact what's wrong with this model. Now, one of the obvious things, this gold is too thick. This gold is way too thick. It should have been thinned down. I should have started with like a black underneath it, which I think I did in some spots. This is a Helldrake. So, funny enough, if you've played Space Marine 2, I already know this scene happens because I think this is the most amazing scene to happen with a Dreadnought. One of these things lands on a pillar, and you hear a Dreadnought go, "The abomination's mine!" and it grabs this statue and throws it at this thing. Mind you, do I have a Space Marine? Do I have a Space Marine? I don't think I do. On hand. Mind you, a human for scale. To be fair, this is the wrong scale for a human in 40k. I think it's a little bit too tall. But for Malifaux, is this Malifaux? Yeah, Malifaux. This is the correct scale. But the Space Marine's around this height. Yes, this is a very big boy. This is technically a vehicle. Now, I could go into Warhammer lore, but since we're talking paints, that's a little bit more interesting right now. Yeah, for one thing, I need to dust this guy off. There's a lot I did wrong with this. I was funny enough trying to go for a Thousand Suns thing. Because I really liked how the Thousand Suns colors looked with the blue and gold. First off, the paint I used, I would not have used this primer that I used underneath this black, underneath this blue here. This actually comes out more unintentionally as a different faction's paint scheme, but because of the way I painted it, it almost kind of like hides which faction it actually is, which I think is kind of cool. In hindsight. But if I was going to paint this up like Thousand Suns like I originally intended, this thing would have been primed black, and now it would get the same treatment I do with a lot of stuff, where it gets a dry brushing of gray, matte gray, and a dry brushing of matte white. And then, like, anywhere that's metallic would have stayed black or gotten, like, a black brought back in to make the metallic pop just a little bit better. This gold would have been done differently. I think the gun's fine. I probably would have done it a little differently nowadays, but it's fine now for what it is. The eyes are about, which you can barely see them. The eyes I would have done differently too. I would have used something to make them glow or brighter at least, so you can see the eyes. Especially on this side. Yeah, I don't even think you can see them on camera. This one on camera. I can see it, and I just, because I know where it's at. Funny enough, Kitten, this is what my Wednesday paint streams, when they're here on Twitch, are supposed to be. They're supposed to be, hey, do you want to come in and do... Oh, trust me. When you get to the point that you're ready to start painting the Maid Marines, I might say, hey, if you want to join me in a Discord call while I'm streaming, I can, like, give you techniques and stuff while you're painting. Which is funny enough, that's what Paint with Friends has always been. The Wednesday paint streams here on Twitch have meant to be. They're meant to be, I paint with you, and I kind of, like, just talk you through, like, techniques I know, as well as, like, where to look for other techniques that are kind of be closer to what you want to do. You're doing Maid Marines, which you're actually going to prime everything the exact opposite way I would do it. Because you need to stay in a very bright color. You're going to start maybe with a gray. You might not, so you might be able to get away with doing my slap chop trick for priming with the Maid Marines. But I would almost say you're not even going to, you might want to start with a gray primer instead. Sorry, I had an opportunity to pull some stuff off, so it was like, tasty. So, you're going to want to start, funny enough, in a completely different direction. You're going to actually want to start with either a gray. So, what I do is called slap chop. Slap chop is best to do where you prime it with a black primer and then dry brush everything on. I might recommend, buy a rattle can of gray primer. I'm going to recommend Rust-Oleum. Preferably a matte gray, if you can. And then you're going to get a matte white spray primer also. You're going to prime everything gray, like solid gray. And then just from the very top, so like this, you'll take your primer from the top of the model like this and spray downwards. Maybe from a slight angle, but just not going anywhere to where it'll like directly go on it. Just enough to where everything gets like a nice It's like, this is like probably the furthest I would go angle wise. You're doing just enough to where everything gets a very light coating of white, and preferably from far away. That's called a zenithal highlight. And that's probably going to help best with your Maid Marines starting out, because you're not going to be fighting the whites as much. You might have to fight your pinks, you might have to, wherever you're planning to put pink, you might have to like come in with like a matte white like this, and then come in with your pink. And definitely, if you're going to use any yellows, you're going to need to come in with a matte white underneath. If you're going to paint them exactly how the Maid Marine scheme is. Sorry, I'm trying to look up the Maid Marines. Do not accidentally click play on that. I said Maid Marine, not Maid Marian. I'm going to give it a like, though. Okay. Ooh, okay, so if you're gonna go like, I say fucking Maid Marine. Yeah, it all depends on how you want to go, Kitten. Or nah. Or Kitten. How you want to go. If you want to go super pink and white, like pastels. See, I almost am tempted to paint a Maid Marine up just so I can paint one with you and test it out. Because you're gonna have to do like the pastels are gonna be weird. It's the gold I have no issue with. Although you might have. I don't know. That's gonna be complicated. That's if you're going to paint them exactly on model, like how Chimicham. If you're going to do them exactly like how Chimicham has them, that's going to be a little complicated. But if you're going to just paint them, if you have a different paint scheme in mind, the hell did I send you the link? I cannot play that song. I almost clicked on that button by accident. So I'm pretty sure we're not going to get her done completely tonight. I just want to see what all we can get done. I just don't know what we're going to paint her shirt. I do want to get her skin tone done. I went on a tangent there. Yeah, so you want standard. You want what Chimicham came up with. So yeah, you're going to want to start with, like I was saying, you're going to want to buy a gray primer, a matte gray primer, and a matte white primer. Just go with Rust-Oleum because they're going to be the cheapest and they get the best coverage, in my opinion, for that price range. Ooh, that'll be very fun. Yeah, Primarchs are complicated in that situation because, well, you're not playing, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so yeah, as you get closer and getting ready, I'm going to probably start giving you a paint list to help you out. Unless somebody's come up with a paint scheme that you can follow. The funny thing is, you're going to be able to airbrush these things really easily if you really wanted to. Alright. And I just wasted too much fucking green to paint this up because I thought I was going to need more. I think we're going to need to come in with a Korvax. Or maybe some Deepkin flesh just to try something different. Okay, so I can either sound like so. So do you want me to sound like a shill real quick and tell you about a sponsorship I have? If you don't mind buying stuff on TikTok Shop. If not, I'm just going to tell you which one to go buy on like Amazon. Okay, so over on TikTok, let me bring up the fact just so I can. Alright, TikTok. Am I logged in on TikTok? I don't think I am. Oh, shit. Sorry, I gotta log in so I can send you this link.
When we see the
I don't care. View profile. So, if you follow the something is not here. Okay. So, this is the kit. There should be a link. For some reason I'm not seeing it here, but this also might be the web browser version of TikTok doesn't have it. Why is this not here? It's been the spooky month, sweetie. I've told you that. Okay, if the link is there, Knock Hitting, just follow that link and buy those brushes because you helped me out, but also those are the brushes I'm going to recommend you. Because this kit's going to come with almost every single brush you could need, and some you're not going to need. Plus it comes with these. These are lifesavers because these are like going to teach you how to dry brush really well. Also, because these are cheap brushes, you can beat the ever-living shit out of them. Maybe they ended my commission link with them. I don't know. I could have swore it hooked up. I'll send you a link later. I don't know why it's not working. We might just go screw it, and I might just tell you to buy them on Amazon, where they might be a little bit cheaper. But they might be cheaper on there, too. So. Okay, Gaz, I'm going to go look at your model real quick, and I want to see if this is supposed to be her lab coat, or if this is her lab coat. Yes, clearly not the towel. Why does it look so weird? Oh, they updated it. I don't like it. I do like that, though. You're still giving your money to TikTok Shop, so technically it's just a different billionaire now getting my money. I'm sorry, that's a witch I want. That is not Merlin, but I will accept it. Okay. Library. Yeah, they're implying Zagra's... This is Zagra's lab coat. And this is like some kind of like cloak. Okay, I'll take that. That's fine. That makes more sense anyway. Oh, she's like a cyberpunk. Yes, you can, honey. The call, if I'm... Okay, so here's the thing, Jack. If I'm on Discord, if I'm in the main Discord server, with the voice chat going, you guys can join. Hi, Jack.
You're so good.
Hmm?
My glasses are dirty.
That is why I keep cleaners all around.
Oh, I have cleaner. Just I don't have much of it to last so long.
I almost want to make that leather, but they've got this painted up white. Now, do we keep that the Red Cross one, or do we make it green or something? Well, the problem is the Red Cross is the one that you can get sued over, because technically only, like, Salvation Army and hospitals are allowed to use it.
It's that heavily guarded?
The Red Cross? Yes.
Jeez.
Yes, it's stupid. It's one of the reasons why video games get sued every once in a while for having it, because it's the dumbest thing, but you'll hear about it like, oh yeah, they got sued. Why? Well, because they used the Red Cross. Why? It's literally like, because at some point somebody let the Red Cross copyright it.
Yeah, but who keeps renewing the copyright? Because I'm pretty sure copyright has to be renewed, right?
Like every 50, 60 years. That's why if you don't renew a copyright within a certain amount of time,
Well, who even owns the copyright?
So the term for copyright for a particular work depends on several factors, including whether it has been published, and if so, the date is the first publication. So this is just... So, for works created after January 1st, 1978, copyright protections last for the life of the author plus an additional 70 years.
Oh.
Now, the Red Cross falls under something a little bit different, since it's a symbol, not a... Yeah. But, yeah, if you made a character... If you make a character now... So this is one of the reasons why Disney kept the Mickey Mouse rights for the longest ass time. It's because they kept, like, forcing the courts to change the rulings for how it worked. Because it used to be like 50 years or something like that. It used to be something reasonable.
But
that's
now
why
it's like... Now it's like, just to screw with everyone and to make us be...
No, it's because Mickey Mouse is about to enter the public domain like 20, 30 years ago. And they were able to get it pushed to 70 years.
So... Okay, so when was Walt Disney...
So the rules were changed after Walt Disney's death for the writers thing. For the authors thing. But yeah, that's the reason why Steamboat Willie became public domain a few months ago. Is because he fell under those rules of, yeah, it's after 70 years, you can't keep copyrighting it. It must enter the public domain. Which means nobody can technically claim copyright on it. They can just claim copyright on their version of it.
So if I make an almost exact copy...
It must be Steamboat Willie. It cannot be Mickey Mouse. It must be Steamboat Willie.
No, what if I make it Tricky Mouse?
Do you really want to fuck with the mouse?
Hey, it's not Mickey Mouse, it's Tricky
You don't
Mouse.
fuck with the mouse.
If I make Tricky Mouse
Here's the
and they
thing.
get upset,
When Disney will sue porn artists, or threaten to sue them, this should tell you why you do not fuck with the mouse.
yeah, but they have no legal standing other than bribing a judge, which I can clearly point out.
Yeah, but multi-billion-dollar company versus you. This is the same with Nintendo and Palworld right now.
Yeah, the thing is, let's say I put together a clear case and point out every way that Disney could manipulate it. There is no way that people are going to let that rest, even if it's just a minor case.
Ho ho! You're gonna have a free trip to Disney Florida, but it's a one-way trip. Ho ho!
You're going back in a coffin.
No, you're just gonna be found in a gator's stomach.
No, I'm not. I wrestle gators and eat them for breakfast.
Jack, I've seen what happens to watermelons inside a crocodile's mouth. You ain't winning.
Hey, my rind is especially thick, alright?
So you've got a thick skull?
Yeah, my rind's pretty thick.
Oh, bless
But
your
they'll
heart.
see the
Oh, bless
they'll
your
see the
heart.
fedora on top of my head, and then they'll say, "No, I don't want to eat him. He's a cool fedora."
Oh, bless your heart.
Mm. I'm a sweet child with a fedora.
You completely missed the joke I said. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep saying, oh, bless your heart.
I don't get it.
I said you have a really thick rind. So you have a thick skull.
I know it's me.
Hmm?
I know it's me. But I do have a thick.
Alright,
Oh,
do I
cool.
want to paint her... Do I want to paint her raincoat similar to her, or do I want to paint it different?
Also, I completely forgot to ask. Did you get hit by the hurricane? Or...
No.
We did.
Sweetie. Pacific Northwest.
Oh.
Yeah. Trust me, if I got hit
Yeah,
by
I do
the
have
if I
a
got
thick
hit by
skull.
if I got hit by the hurricane.
The hurricane.
Hurricane. I had to correct myself like twice there. Trust me, if I got hit by the
Sure you
hurricane,
are.
I'd be impressed.
Are you sure you're operating on a correct amount of sleep?
Sleep is for the weak.
I'll take it as a no.
No.
Yeah, it got so bad over here, like in the country, there, the country part of one of the country parts of Georgia. There's a bunch of trees fell down, blocking roads. It's so bad.
Why is it everybody from Georgia watches my streams? That's amazing.
You know, like
Okay, and like
we got so
a
bad.
person from Texas, 2 people from Texas, and a person from Colorado.
I'm not funny.
I know, I'm just saying.
Goodness. 2 words in, Nami has something to say.
Sorry, I just ADHD kicked in.
I know, I have the same problem sometimes. But yeah, it got so bad over here that the trees blocked the roads. People couldn't get their jobs, and it got so bad for Walmart that only 10 people were allowed inside Walmart at a time. It was that bad.
Sweetie, you have poutine. You don't have to complain. You do not have to brag about Canada being cooler. You have poutine. You win automatically.
Poutine. What is poutine? I heard it before, but what is it? No, I want Kitten to explain.
Actually, you've got poutine and Tim Hortons.
Kitten, tell me about poutine.
This is where I find out Kitten does not like poutine. Is like one of the few Canadians who doesn't like poutine. Cheese, gravy, potatoes, the greatest thing ever to be combined.
Oh my goodness.
They out-Americaned Americans with that.
That does sound heavily American. How did we not think of this first?
Actually, funny enough, it's actually very Scottish to do too, is put gravy on everything.
Really?
Yes.
Well, what's Scottish, I would say, is drinking is drinking scotch with everything.
Nah, believe it or not, a lot of Scottish people don't like scotch. Like, it's something they will drink, but it's not the same. They don't drink it like Americans and British do.
Well, either that or beer.
It's beer.
Then again,
lot more beer,
Australians
trust
and
me.
Americans have that.
Well, Germans have us beat on that. Germans have a whole holiday about drinking beer. For a whole month.
Then they end up in a Krankenhaus because they couldn't keep their hands of
Oktoberfest.
beer.
Oktoberfest, where you get to drink all the beer out of a boot. Literally.
Oh, then they'll definitely end up in a Krankenhaus. That's German for hospital.
Yeah, I know. You also get to go on a ride in the Krankenwagen.
The Krankenwagen. But yeah.
Yes, but I can say this.
Great. Have you ever just watched one of them shorts? Like, other languages versus German?
So the funny thing is, it's because German can sound very, but in reality, if you look up like there's a couple of VTubers where they're from Germany, and when they talk, it's very, and it actually sounds very. You start to realize, like, okay, German actually doesn't sound that bad. It's just we're so used to the evil German accent that we all think they're supposed to always sound angry.
To be fair, though, German, I would say even on a normal basis, German does sound a bit angry, or at least annoyed.
You sound very snarky when you're talking in German. It's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. You can sound very snarky when you're talking in German. You can sound very snarky or annoyed. Now the question is, Kitten, are you a fan of Tim Hortons? Because I know there's not every Canadian's a big fan of Tim Hortons. I just know it's a meme. Kitten.
Actually, also in Russian, you also sound pretty condescending, or I'm holier than thou.
Well, because the Russia, Russia is the reason why in Mother Russia, tank run on you.
And Russia, the watermelon eat you.
Yeah, that's the joke. It's because the way Russian translates to English, they say it in reverse. So, thing runs on you, when it really means you run thing or do thing. There's a few languages like that where the weird translation happens.
The meme also works pretty well too, because memes are. But then you have also the reason why you don't screw with Russians either. Have you seen a Russian disarming a guy?
Sweetie, I've seen Russian tanks get blown up by a $12 drone. We can fuck with the Russians.
$12 drone.
Yes. Fun fact. Currently what's going on in Ukraine, they've just been buying these cheap little $12 drones and attaching grenades to them and just pulling the pin and just flying the drone over and just going whoop and just dropping grenades in. Or just kamikazing the drone and just going whoop. And they're still using their tanks from the 80s. The thing that the Freebrums was built to fight, and we sent Ukraine Freebrums. Do you know what happened the minute we sent the Freebrums to start fighting them?
What?
Hilarity. Because the
now
tanks...
I'm even more scared. Now I'm even more scared of the Russians, not because if they have nuclear weapons...
Oh, you want to know the best part?
If they are older nuclear weapons, them things are volatile.
You want to know what's the best part? They've sold off the trigger mechanisms to other countries because they can be used in nuclear reactors. So maybe a quarter of what they have actually work.
Oh, good gracious, that's relief.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why he keeps... That's the whole reason why Putin keeps threatening it, because he wants somebody else to do it first. Because he's trying to call everybody's bluff, like, if you do not do what I say, I will do this. It's like, okay, do it. Do it. Do show it to your earliest convenience, please. There are enough millennials who are perfectly fine with you doing it.
Please, I'm waiting. I don't have any plans. Lunch is an hour, so...
Trust me, I don't have any plans. The economy's already collapsing. I don't give a shit. Bring it on.
I have dinner in an hour, so make it quick.
That's the closest we will get into politics, but because I don't want to actually get into actual politics, but that's just... Because I can make fun of Putin, because it's just like, it's so dumb.
Hold on, one more joke. Be quick, I have dinner in a minute. My main force is your army.
Trust me, at this point, that's what it feels like with Ukraine. Because Ukraine's actually been pushing them back now to the original border before this all happened. They're getting closer and closer to doing that.
My guess is this is exactly like a high school bully.
Yep. You have hit it on the head. Politics are very stupid.
High school bullying a kid, and the kid's fighting back and winning.
Yep.
No, wait, no.
This is exactly what that is. It's exactly, you are hitting it on the head.
This is the Karate Kid. The sequel.
You are literally hitting it on the head with the whole situation going on over there. It's a bully who threatened somebody and they finally punched back and they don't know how to react, so they just are trying to cry back to mom. And mom's like, You started this.
I was like, well, yeah, he's trying. That's what he want me to do. But Mother Russia. You go to the room after I'll turn you into a Kroska.
Yeah, all you need to understand with me, Kitten, for politics,
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to find a way to draw the symbol. But, pretty much anarchist.
You want to know politics? Here's what politics is in a nutshell. A flexing competition. Not about helping people. It's just about who has the bigger muscles. And who could pull the most strings. That's it.
You want to know exactly? You
Oh,
want to know
and
the
who
best?
can-
You want to know the best description of politics? It's not even that. Fucking, fucking. Sorry, I just saw something. I was trying to figure it out. Basically, if you've ever seen the episode, there's an episode of Venture Brothers where he perfectly sums up the whole situation. And basically, it's just like, because none of you want to actually just... None of you actually want to sit down and talk. You both want to go out with everything you want. Instead, you get enough of what you want, and then you get to go back to your friends and go, we didn't get everything, but we got them, and we'll get the rest next time. That's how it's supposed to be. Instead,
Yeah.
it's we didn't get everything, so nothing actually worked. It's like, shut up.
The thing is, they treat it like a wrestling match. You know, WWE? It's more like that than actual wrestling.
I mean, to be fair, we had a guy who was on wrestling as our president. What did you think everything was turning into?
To be honest, rather him than Harris.
Sweetie? No. No.
Right? I won't say anything more than that.
No, here's the problem. He is literally a fascist. Nothing good will happen with him in power. In fact, we've proven what will happen with him in power is he will just keep doing exactly what him and Reagan started. Which is they're going to keep bailing out rich people, keep screwing everybody else over, blame every other political party but themselves for it.
Yeah.
And then when the tax collector comes in a couple of years, they're going to throw everybody else under the bus but themselves. Or
Same.
Or, even worse, they're just going to start taking people's rights away. Which is already what they're threatening to do when they get into power. At least with Kamala Harris, the current status quo stays the same.
But with Kamala Harris, all those illegal immigrants they're paying for will probably bankrupt us faster than we can blink. We're already in debt. We already owe a lot of people some money, and we won't pay it because we can't come up with any ideas how to solve it. Instead, we're too busy debating on what to do about pointless things like changing sex of prisoners.
So anyway, Kitten, as we were saying about your paint schemes, we're going to probably definitely have to start with the Zenithal highlight. I'm going to give him a little bit before he realizes what I just did. If he comes back here and tries to get even worse, I'm just kicking him. Because I knew where that would come. I knew where that was going. Just a smidge there, Jack. You can come back.
I think we should stay away from politics for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Almost like I always fucking call it.
Just stop me before I
Yeah.
into that.
Because you were about to say something that would have very much debated if I was kicking you from the server if you had kept going.
I apologize. I'm just not a fan of what's happening.
Sweetie, just remember that there are several non-binary and trans people in this server. Yeah. And you're talking to a non-binary person. Yeah. Just be aware. Alright, so let's see here. So yeah, as we get once you get closer to a lot of stuff, Nakitten, I'll start recommending you what to buy. I might recommend you buy some I'm probably going to give you a list of different paints. I'm probably just going to tell you start with like Army Painter because they're going to be the cheaper option for mini paints. Just so you can figure out how you feel about things because let's see here. Yeah.
I think I should call it for myself.
We'll be streaming some more, probably Space Marine tomorrow, so if you want to pop in and say hi tomorrow, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, reflect on what just happened.
We can talk after stream if you're still awake.
Sure.
If you want to talk. If not, I will be back tomorrow with streaming. Alright.
How long are you going to be live for?
Tomorrow? Or tonight? Probably another 30
tonight.
minutes.
I may be awake then. Just, I guess, shoot me a text when you're done streaming.
Or you can just keep watching and just chill with us.
All right.
Let's see here. We're gonna do. See, I don't have Grey Knight. Because if I had Grey Knight, I would cover this thing in Grey Knight and then red. I don't have a lot of Grey Knight left. I'm pretty sure I scared everybody off with those conversations of politics. So, how we all doing, lurkers? I still can't figure out what I want her hair color to be. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, air fryers are weird. Well, okay, so first, oh shit. First off, you gotta remember their convection. So, convection ovens, which is what an air fryer is, you have to remember everything's got to be a little bit different temperature. And you have to cook things a little bit differently. I like to cook, so I have a air fryer. It's one of those, actually it's a mini oven styled ones, so like a toaster oven style. I cook bacon in it all the time. I cook it at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. There's a 50-50 shot it's going to come out the perfect chewiness and everything, or it's going to come out crispy. And I do not know. I have to keep an eye on it, and I have to turn it, and a couple of other things. Sometimes it comes out perfect, sometimes it comes out horrible, sometimes it's burnt. Yeah, they're super ovens. That's what they are. Somebody figured out how to make the coils in a convection oven super small. And once they did, they're like, hey, we can make these things for countertops. And that's all an air fryer is. They're just convection ovens. They're really efficient convection ovens, but still. I feel like it's gotta be... Because it's Halloween, we've got to have a red one. I love mine. I love mine because it's like it's great for like I bake cookies in it all the time. I bake cookies in mine. It's great because I get to do small batch cookies, so I get to actually test like stuff. It's great. And I thinned my paint too much. Son of a bitch. You got one of the 2-chamber ninja ones. The only issue I got is the seal. Oh, that's a pain. And I have no idea how you can fix that, because that's got to be like some special, like heat resistant kind of stuff you need for that thing. I'm sure. Replace it with Teflon. Yeah, I don't know how you'd fix that. You would almost have to buy. You'd almost have to see if somebody is selling one on like. What I mean is, you'd almost have to see if somebody's selling a used one of yours, and just see if they'll let you buy just the part, just the drawer system out of it. Because I'm sure there's somebody who is somewhere. Like, hey, Gam Gam passed away. We gotta get rid of all her stuff, and we don't want the air fryer because we've already got one. Search marketplace for. That's the other option, is to find a broken air fryer, because all you have to do then is just clean the drawer system out and just make sure it works better than the one you currently have. That's what I would do anyway, because that's like, you know what? If it's a good system, you kind of just want to keep it running for as long as you can. Especially since it's a Ninja. Those are, in theory, supposed to be good. Oh, shit. I think we're going to get her more done than I thought we were, but we might have to finish up like her face or something on Wednesday. My Ninja Blenders were basically every other appliance I have from that. Yeah. I almost feel that's the same situation as like Kodak with like a lot of their stuff. Because Kodak has, like, it's like, their cameras are the best, but then it's like, oh god, your record player sucks. LG fridge. To be fair, as long as it's not a smart fridge, you're fine. If it's a smart fridge, pray and hope for mercy. Right, now I gotta wait for this to break. See, as long as it's a basic fridge, that's all that matters. Although, from what I've heard, I think it's Samsung. LG's might still fall into that list. I know it's Samsung's for sure. And somebody else, even their non-smart ones, they change the parts out on them like all the damn time, so that if you buy a fridge at the beginning of the year, it will not be the same fridge halfway through the year. And it's definitely not the same fridge by the end of the year. Situation. Isn't the smart fridge? You know, oh yeah, I said that. Alright, we're gonna give her her little Zydrate bottles. And then I'm gonna debate on probably painting this. Hard to get parts since people only purchase a fridge. This is specifically a problem with like Samsung and a couple of other companies. Maytag, you buy a fridge this year, it's probably got the same parts from like 10 years ago. Because they're just that damn good. And Maytag's one of those companies that's just like, we're just going to make one good thing, maybe change up how certain things look on it. But we're not going to do too much else, because it's like, we know what our product is, we know what our customers are. And nobody's going to question it. I don't know what I want her hair to be. How they've got her hair like a red. to be fair, your fridge is supposed to last you like 10 years. You know what? She's cyberpunk. She doesn't need to be leather. It needs to be black. Oh god, no. I have... So, before I moved up to Pacific Northwest, I bought a fridge. It was like $1,000. I'm like, no. That fridge is coming up with us because that thing is like only halfway paid off. And it is not staying in the house. I think we're gonna do... I'm sorry, was that the fucking thing from Grand Theft Auto? That was hilarious. I was trying to see if I had another orc here that had colored hair, and I'm like, eh. I think we might do a blue. Because I've done blue hair on, like, green-skinned orcs and goblins before, so it's like, okay. What do you think? Does the blue and the purple go together, at least from this angle, and does it look like it'll work on... It kind of works. And for the piece de resistance, or at least the sign that we have finished the model. Alright. And we're done at exactly 10 o'clock. Holy shit. Alright. What do we think? Do we like her? Do we want to change the jacket? I almost feel we need to change the jacket to like a yellow raincoat or something, but at the same time I think the purple kind of works best. I do feel for a Shadowrun character this would be a hilarious freaking character to fight against. But obviously she's got to be scaled down to 75 mil. I mean 28 mil. I like it. We'll keep her for now. I'll see how I feel tomorrow about her when I'm taking pictures. Alright, let me make it to where I can see what the hell I'm doing proper. Yes. Oh, Maid Orcs would be fun. You know what? If there was if they make Maid Orcs like 40k version, I will paint some. Because I do orcs. Right. All right, let's see here. Let me bring up Twitch. New tab. And let's see who we're gonna go raid. Would anyone like to guide the raid, or shall I pick? Oh, my hands. Alright. If anyone would like to guide the raid, speak now. If not, I have ideas. Yeah, I have a few people. I'm just trying to see who's actually worth popping in. I'm trying to remember. I mean, we could do Micah, but I think we did him last week. And I try not to do too close. I don't see anybody else painting other than him. No, he's playing Space Marine. Yeah, I don't see any of my other mini painters out tonight. I think they all pretty much paint on Wednesday. Alright, then that sounds fun. Do we want to go raid? You got anybody, Rajanka? Because I know you're lurking. I mean, if not, I've got Caldonia, because we haven't said hi. Actually, I'm just going to override whatever. Sorry, don't recommend anybody. I've already got somebody. Alright, I'm gonna go send you over to Caldonia, who is doing some ASMR. But she's also a good friend of ours, so they're a good friend of ours, so be nice. Tomorrow we'll be back with some Space Marine 2. I'm hoping to get another mini or two painted, ready to go for Wednesday. And I'm debating on if it's going to be a safe for work or not safe for work stream. And that'll be for you all to find out. Let's see here. And then the rest of this week will be spooky stuff. Well, we'll probably be working more on Alice, which I'll consider a horror game because it is technically one. I'm going to get this raid cooking. I hope you all have a good evening. I hope you all get a good rest. If I don't see you, I hope to see you again real soon. Bye, my lovelies.